Shalom, call hello, Yahweh Bashim Abashai, Bashim Rakak Wadash. Double honors into the apostles and the elders. Salutations to all my fellow laborers doing this work in truth and sincerity, risking their lives and their freedom to do so. To the scattered elect that are scattered among the heathen nations, the Israelite foreigners, and to the Akwath that are listening and learning. To you, I say Shalom. This is part two continuing. Those of you who've been watching my videos know that they continually cut my camera off in the middle they shut the phone down in and the camera in the middle of teaching. It's like almost with every video I do that this happens now. So I was reading from William Beeston's The Roman Empire of the Edomite, 1853, by William Beeston, Cambridge scholar, from the Kissinger Legacy reprints. All right, so they've known this for a long time. Hence the reason, once again, why the Apocrypha was removed from the Bible, because it identified that the so-called white man is indeed Esau Edom, something that he's running from, and he never wanted the world to know or thought that he would be able to hide from that. But he can no longer hide himself. It tells you in Jeremiah 49 that he has been made bare. So here it is. I'll just read it again. It says, that this grand secret was certainly discovered and disclosed more than 1,200 years ago, that the true answer to the question whence came the Romans may have been returned and even registered in writing before the birth of Hamashiach. The response proceeded from neither Greek nor Roman, so they didn't find it in the Greek or Roman literature at all, and even before Yahushua was born, all right? It says, but from the despised Jew. In the Targums that have been preserved to us in Jewish Targums, that it existed among the fables and impieties and absurdities of the blasphemies of the Jewish Talmud, and that it may be comprehended in these 20 words: the Romans came from Esau, who is Edom, and Italy is Idumea, Rome, Basra of the Hebrew prophets. So they dropped dime on themselves trying to make that separation. It's just like the Jewish are always pointing fingers at Caucasian Edomites, saying that they're the Edomites, and then you got Christian Jews pointing fingers at the Jewish, saying that they're the Edomites, when they're all the Edomites. All right, the Jewish are mainly Amalek, which is the head tribe of the nation of Esau, Edom. All right, so it was found in the Jewish writings. All right, before Yahushua was even born, that that the Idumeans, were the actual Romans, and not talking about the Romans who were the actual Greeks, not talking about the real Greeks who are brown complected people, but Alexander of Macedon, all right, the son of Philip, his people, who were the pale flesh Edomites, not white. If you see that book of Psalms on behind him, that's white. His skin is red, just like the Bible says. And the first came out red all over, like a hairy garment. All right, their skin is pale red, and because their blood shows forth through their skin. All right, not ruddy. Ruddy is like brown with red in it. You look up ruddy horse, ruddy duck, ruddy cow, and you'll see exactly what I mean. So a cow is brownish red, but a person is a different color ruddy. The hell out of here, man. But let's let him speak, and then we're going to break down his speech with truth. All right, he's going to speak about Isaiah 63 and Isaiah 34. All right, and we're going to correct and show you where he tells the truth, and then he turns around and tells lies. All right.
This particular week, we're doing something a little bit different. I want to deal with a question that came last week in the live chat that I didn't really get to. And I didn't really get to it because I didn't really know the answer. At least I wasn't confident in the answer. I said that I would look it up, and I have done some research on that, and I feel a little more confident to give an answer this particular week for this idea for what happened to the Edomites. Let me read you the question that came in last week that I felt, well, let me take a look at this and I will get to this. And the question is simply this. Who is the nation of Edom today? because it's prophesied in Isaiah chapter 63, verses 1 through 4, and Isaiah chapter 34, verses 5 through 8, that Jesus will come back to a kingdom ruled by Edom. So they have to be on the earth today.
And that is very,
So
very
that's
true.
the question.
All right, because Christianity has taught that the Edomites were done away with. All right, but in Ecclesiastes, to see if I can find that real quick, it says that there was no end to all the people. All right, I believe it's in the 8th chapter. Nope, that's not it. That's not it. Just try. Going to see if I can find it. If not, we just keep going. But I was pretty sure it was 8 and 11. Nope. That's a good one though, because the sentence against the evil work is not executed speedily. Therefore, the heart of sons of men is fully set to do evil, and that's why this man is doing evil by lying, because this sentence for that wickedness has not been punished yet. And Salakia. Well, that's definitely in the book of Ecclesiastes. All right. It said there's no end to all the people. So that would be a lie, teaching that doctrine. But let's let them continue.
And let me just sort of read to you the relevant passage here. For example, from Isaiah chapter 63, beginning in the first 4 verses. Now, I'm only going to read to you here the Isaiah chapter 63 passage, because actually the Isaiah chapter 34 passage is very similar. They essentially say the same thing. So Isaiah chapter 63, let me start reading to you now from verse 1. Who is this who comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah? Bozrah was at one time the capital city of Edom.
And that's also in what the modern day Petra. They're not telling you that part either. So it's not talking about that place in particular. It's talking about wherever Esau, Edom is today. They're Bozrah. All right? Just like Israel is a people before it's a place. So when it says Israel, it's talking about them wherever they are, not necessarily the land of Israel. So these Edomite Christians love to play on words, hell, with everything they do, even in the media.
And the Edomites. So who is this who comes from Edom with dyed garments from Bozrah, the one who is glorious in his apparel?
Now that's talking about Yahushai, okay? Clearly.
Traveling in the strength, in the greatness of his strength. I who speak in righteousness, mighty to save.
Now he's reading from the King
Why
James
is
too.
your apparel red and your garments like one who treads the winepress? By the way, Bozrah, the name of that city that at one time was the capital city of the Edomites, that name means winepress. Continuing on.
Okay, but it's also making a comparison to the violence that how grapes are made in a wine press. They're stomped and all their guts shoot out, and the blood and the guts of the grapes are trampled until it turns into just a river of wine. So he's comparing their innards of their body and their blood, the guts. This is talking about the Lord that Christianity says loves everyone. And this is a future prophecy that has not happened yet. Keep that in mind, all you Christians out there.
Verse 3, I have trodden the winepress alone, and from the peoples no one was with me. I have trodden them in my anger and trampled them in my fury. Their blood is sprinkled upon my
Now
garments.
he's reading the King James. Now I wonder if he would read Lamentations 4 and 8 or Jeremiah 14 and 2, speaking about the physical appearance of the Jews. I wonder if he would do that. All right. Typically, you find a lot of Edomites don't deal with the King James. All right, they deal with those other versions that took all the scriptures that clearly give you the physical descriptions of the Israelites of the tribe of Judah, who they ignorantly referred to as Jews, and the rest of the tribes. They removed those scriptures. They not remove those scriptures, but change the wording in those scriptures. Most of them don't even say black anymore. All right, more the newer versions in these different Bibles.
And I have strained all my robes. For the day of
No, now that's a weird one, because it said I have sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed is come. So that hasn't happened yet, because who's the redeemed? The redeemed are his people. It tells you in Matthew, is it Matthew 10 and 6, I believe, that the Lord came back for his people. That's the year of his redeemed, man. Not everybody. All right. Tells you the Lord came back for his people. Go not until the go. He told the disciples what? Go only to the children of the house of Israel, the lost children of the house of Israel. Oh, that was it. It says this is Matthew 10 and 5. These 12 Yahushua sent forth and commanded them, saying, go not into the way of the Gentiles, or into any city of the Samaritans, enter ye not, but go rather to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. All right, point blank, period. For you, John 3:16 is what God so loved the world. Which world? You got to understand what in the context of the scripture. The three different meanings of world used in the Bible. All right, one talking about all the people in the world, one talking about the Israelites, and one talking about time and age. And the one in John 3:16 is not talking about all people. And it's not talking about the age or time. So guess what? It's talking about the Israelites. Okay? And the quick counter to that, there are many, but I'll get this one right in the same book, John 17:9. It says, I pray for them. I pray not for the world. Wait, hold on. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine, and that them are his redeemed. That same redeemed that's in Isaiah 63 and 4. All right? That's the them that are given unto him. Okay?
vengeance is in my heart, and the year of my redeemed has come. That's the end of verse 4. So here what we have is a clear, and if you take a look at the broader context, you'll see this is a clear message of the return of Jesus Christ in judgment. We would consider it to apply to the ultimate judgment. When Jesus returns to judge the earth, when Jesus returns...
And the judgment of Esau is given into their hands is the ultimate judgment. The rest of the earth is included. All right? This does not get Esau off the hook. So you see how he just use his words and twist it as if it's something that is not?
Turns at Armageddon, so to speak. So, what's the connection here with Edom, mentioned in verse 1 of Isaiah chapter 63, and again also mentioned in a very similar context in Isaiah chapter 34? So, I would disagree that this passage tells us that Jesus will come back to a kingdom ruled by Edom.
Right, and then so this is a liar, because it said, if Edom was promised it by the sword that thou shalt live. Every place on the planet where this people are was taken by violence of the sword. From America to Australia to Europe to the colonizing of in different places in Africa, to the colonizing of different places in India, to the colonizing of the Samoan Hawaiian Islands, the Fiji Islands, All right. All those places, Australia, Canada, all of them were taken by the sword. And that is the prophecy, just like it tells you in Deuteronomy 26 and 48, that the curses that will be upon Jacob, upon Israel, so that you know who they are. The Lord also gave Esau a blessing so that you would know who they are. All right? Like it says, by unrighteous dealings. And hold on, let me just get that. And then we're going to read Isaiah, which he tried to read around and try to get around. Genesis 27 and 40. And it says, you know what, I'm going to start at 38. And Esau said unto his father, Genesis 27:38, hast thou but one blessing, my father? Bless me even also, O my father. And Esau lifted up his voice and wept. And Isaac his father answered and said unto him, behold, thy dwelling place shall be the fatness of the earth and the dew of heaven from above. Meaning you will live in the best places. You will always be wealthy until your time has come. Because he had already been told that you are going to serve your brother. But until that time's come, you're going to have it all. All right. And then it says, and by the sword thou shalt live and serve thy brother. But it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion. Because see, we had them under subjection. And now they got the dominion for the second time. This is the second rising of Esau, Edom. All right. And thou shalt break his yoke off thy neck. So Esau, Edom, by the sword they shall live. What does it say in Genesis? I'm not Genesis, but in Revelation 6 and 4, about that red horse. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth, and that they should kill one another. And there was given unto him a great sword. All right. And with that sword, what they do, they spread Christianity, democracy. All right. Check out the book, Metal, Steel, Guns, and Diseases. Those were their main weapons that they used. Okay, so let's listen to him lie a little bit more. And I'm going to read that Isaiah.
So I would disagree that this passage tells us that Jesus will come back to a kingdom ruled by Edom.
So what he's saying is that the Lord is coming back twice. He's going to come back just to destroy the Edomites, which there's no record of. And then he's going to come back again. You see? This piece of shit, I claim him in the name of Yahweh Bashem Shai. All right? He will serve on my plantation, Yahweh Ratazah. This is Isaiah 34. And I'm going to start at verse 1. And it reads, come near, ye nations, to hear, and hearken, you people. Let the earth hear, and all that is therein, the world, and all the things that come forth of it. For the indignation of Yahweh is upon all nations, and his fury is upon the armies, and he have utterly destroyed them. He have delivered them to the slaughter. So is upon all armies, but he's going to also identify Edom. So this is the great day of the Lord when he judges all earth, Armageddon. All right. Their slain also shall be cast out, and their stink shall come up out of their carcasses. And the mountains shall be melted with their blood. Mountains meaning countries and powers. Mountains represent governments. So all the governments of the earth, all the armies are going to be melted with blood. All right. And all the hosts of heaven shall be dissolved, and And the heavens shall be rolled together as in a scroll, and all their hosts shall fall down as a leaf falleth from the vine, and the falling of the fig from the fig tree. So that's when those missiles go off, when those mushroom clouds roll up. That's that scroll. The heavens parting as a scroll. All right. For my sword shall be bathed in heaven. Behold, it shall come down upon all Idumea. So it's associating Idumea with the destruction of all the other nations and all the other governments. This piece of shit here. All right. This liar here. All right. As a matter of fact, it also tells you in Ezekiel, the 35th chapter, that they appointed the land, the Holy Land, into their hands. All right? Tells you in Lamentation, they say, aha, even your high places are ours. And what is that? The land of Israel. Matter of fact, let me read that one. Ezekiel 36:5. Therefore, thus saith Yahweh power, surely in the fire of my jealousy have I spoken against the residue of the heathen and against all Idumea, which have appointed my land into their possession, and all the joy of their hearts with despiteful minds to cast it out for a prey. The Edomites appointed the Holy Land into their hands. And when did they do that? It was written on the Balfour Declaration around the time of 1917 in World War I. And it was carried out by the 1948ers. Call halal Yahweh Bashim Abashai, Bashim Rakak Wadash, Wa Abba Babal Shalom.